decided to spend an hour or two during my last day on my vernal holidays at Harlow Carr Gardens, because as a birthday present I got a year's membership to the RHS, and that means I can get into Harlow Carr Gardens free, which is fantastic. So I'm going to check it out. It's a little bit overcast. I'm hoping it doesn't rain. There is in fact a bird hive, a glass house, large glass house, a small nursery and Betty's tea room. So if it does rain, there is in fact plenty of space to be enjoyed inside. To get to Harlow Carr Gardens without transport is, well, it means passing through some public woodlands. If you come on foot from Jennyfields, you have to walk the obelisk path and then Burt Crag. As I'm going into town afterwards, I actually took a bus into town and now I'm walking out, and this means I need to pass through Valley Gardens, which is behind me, and the Pine Woods, which is roughly where I am. So I'm hoping to get there just after 3. It doesn't close until 6, but I want to have left and be walking back at the latest by 5. So that gives me an hour and a half-ish, good hour and a half. And I'm just going to have a look around. They do change what they have in the beds, although I think the layout itself is pretty much the same. So a quick map of that as well. Exit the Pine Woods, Harlow Carr in front of me, and there's this, which is a track leading over towards Cornwall Road, where they do look like they're building houses. They do look like they're building houses. This could be a Cornwall Road estate, maybe. This, of course, cuts straight across to Watley Road, I would have thought, but we'll draw it in on the map as it's new. I actually think that if I walked this Cornwall Estate Road towards Otley Road here, I might come out closer to RHS Harlow Carr, because this is the very edge of it before Burt Crag, so I really want to be up there, I don't know, quite a way. So I'm going to walk down here, and I think this comes out, on second thoughts, a lot closer than Otley Road. I think it actually comes out there to RHS Harlow Carr, which is just through the trees. And this, I think, is the turning to the deer bridle path which runs through the pine forest. I remember walking home this way after looking at the crags, and I can tell you that down there it gets really, really boggy. So, if you enter Harlow Carr Gardens by the main Carnation Steps, which are just over there, you come down here, you cross Betty's Brook, because that's Betty's. It's a little river that sort of flows down there, and then you're into Bramhill, and there's the Bramhill Learning Centre here with a library, and behind it is all sorts of little things where they teach people about gardening. These are like the planes, and look what they've done. This is very wintry, still on their winter things, so everything's red and orange and colourful. And we head this way, and these are little show gardens. And as you pass along towards all these little private gardens, show gardens, some of which they are recreating on a regular basis. This is going to be a new one by the looks of it. You pass the lake down there. That lake's dedicated to the Queen Mother, in fact. Yes, we're still sort of walking through the little show gardens here. It is in fact spitting very lightly, but never mind. There are little pathways and things to enter. Lots to see and look at, you see. They do this very well, and they constantly rejig it, rebuild, you know, rip out the flower beds, put in new stuff. I don't suppose for a second that they waste what they dig up either. They probably sell it in their little garden centre nursery. So that there is Otley Road, and where the river runs in and then into the lake. We're on the other side now, and this is a wind turbine. Do you know, I'm in two minds about them. I think they are pretty impressive. I do think they're pretty impressive, and I do think they have their uses, but some people think they're a ghastly eyesore. Do you know, I don't know. No, I think they're alright. I think they're alright. Anyway, they seem to be planting a lot of trees around there as well. You can see over the river now. We've walked in a big circle, and you can see where the Bramall Learning Centre is, that blue building there. And we're on the other side of the Queen Mother's Lake here. And we're heading towards what is known as Biodiversity Forest. I hasten to add that this is the main route, but there are little sort of connections. Obviously we can cross over there if we wanted, straight from Bramall to this side. We don't have to go all the way through the gardens, which are over on that side. But yes, I like to just sort of meander around, especially now it's free entry for me. There is a little lookout hut over there in the forest, but we're just going to skirt the forest around here. The river, Queen Mother's River, is running this way along here, and we're almost now to the point where on the other side we should see the Carnation Steps, which is where you come in. You can just see them through the trees. If I sort of zoom in, it's just over there where all those steps are. And finally, as we come towards the end of the biodiversity park, you can see down here these are the Terrace Gardens. I like to call them the Terrace Gardens, and they decorate those in accordance to what season it is down there. Anyway, here, now isn't this lovely? Obviously they've erected it. It's not an archaeological expose, but it is very pretty. They call it the Carnation Temple. This next bit here is under development, and we're getting to the stage where if we carry on along this route, we enter the part of Harlow Carr Gardens that you can see from World's Edge. World's Edge actually passes along the side here, so we're now sort of heading in there, and I think, if I remember rightly, it's just a little sort of woodland walk along here. I don't think there is much more in this direction. So we walk round what I call the Pheasant Loop, and the way beyond goes back round, back towards the Carnation Steps. And this, I think I'm going to call the Secret Garden. That, through there's High Ground Tunnel. So down here should be World's Edge. Can you see it over through the trees. That's World's Edge down there, World's Edge. And we're coming to the end of the secret garden here, and I have a feeling that there's just a little gazebo that we can sit in, and I bet we can look out over World's Edge. We can! Oh, spectacular. I know, because I can see the bridge from here. So we can look out from this secret garden gazebo and right out over World's Edge. Spectacular. So you've finished your return from the Pheasant's Loop. You enter an area that is basically dedicated to rockeries. There's loos, and there's a little greenhouse, and then there's this, and I don't know what this is, but there's some sort of exhibition going on inside, so I might have a look. You see there's more rockeries around this area here. This is basically the other side of those rockeries are where the terraces heading were. Away now from the river, from the bathhouse, which is behind us where the exhibition is, and this is the last time you get to see the River of Jewels as the Queen Mother's River, which has flown this way, which has come out from the Queen Mother's Lake, flown through this way, and then it goes into, see where that tractor's coming through there, it goes through there, and that is Burt Crag on the other side of that. This is an extension for Betty's here, and there's a little robin on the table, it's been frightened away. That at the top there is the little garden centre. The shop is next to it. The Carnation Gates, the Carnation Steps just beyond that. This is the last area, which is basically following that tractor. Getting up the slope now, and on this side, this is the glass house right at the top, and in front of it, these are like the areas that are beds. So we've had terraces along there, we've had rockeries along there. These are sort of like growing beds, and they have fruit and veg in them at certain times of the year and all sorts. I'm up now by the glass house, and there's only one more garden area portioned off here. That's the walled garden through there. The rest of it, well, we've pretty much done it. Obviously, these things are sort of rather changeable, you see, on the seasons, so they're filled with different things, depending on the season, different flowers, etc., different displays.